So we got the point on that, right? Now let's go from there to Hosea, the 13th chapter, the 2nd verse, and then immediately jump to the 16th verse. All right, go ahead.
Hosea chapter 13 verse 2. And now they sin more and more, and have made them molten images of their silver, and idols according to their own.
Right, the two, that's how Jeroboam got them, with those 2 golden calves. Go ahead.
Images of their silver and idols according to their own understanding. All of it the work of the craftsmen. They say of them, let the men that sacrifice kiss the calves.
Let the men that sacrifice kiss the calves. Because they had that calf thing was heavy, man. That was like a drug over them. So that's why. Oh, right. Yep. Yeah, like you got images today. You got the bull of, what do you call this? The bull of Stock Jobber. The sacred bull of Stock Jobber. All right. All right, let's go from there because we read the 2nd verse, right? Now let's jump to the 16th verse.
Verse 16. It says, Samaria shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her power. They shall fall by the sword, their infants shall be dashed in pieces.
Now this is further, which we read earlier, about the conquistadors going to that land. And what do? They try to slaughter them. They try to destroy them as a people. That's why when you go back to Genesis, the 49th chapter, it tells you that the Most High strengthened them, man, and made them fruitful. That these Edomites that hated them couldn't totally destroy them. So the Lord knew exactly what he was doing. Now read that again.
Right. It says, Samaria shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her power. They shall fall by the sword, their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women with child shall be ripped up.
Now there's no record of that happening over there in Israel. So obviously Samaria is another name for Ephraim. Ephraim being on this side of the world, the western hemisphere, and this island which they call Puerto Rico. When the conquistadors came in there, there's accounts where they were chopping the woman's stomach open and the baby would fall out, and they would stomp on the head of the baby. But you're going to tell me you want to save Esau, man? It's in his DNA to be the damn devil. He's doing a wonderful job being the devil. All right? You got something in the book? Go ahead.
This is the book Lost Tribes and Promised Lands by Ronald Sanders, and it's chapter 14 under Bartolome de las Casas. It says, in his brief relation of the destruction of the Indies, Bartolome de las Casas writes of the massacre at Cholula that, as 5,000 or 6,000 Indians were being put to the sword, Cortés sang this snatch of an old Spanish song. Mira Nero de Tarpeya, a Roma como se ardía, gritos dan niños y viejos, y él de nada se dolía. Nero looked out from Tarpeia at Rome while it burned. The young and old cried out, and he was troubled by none of it.
Yeah, so in other words, them Edomites, when they were killing them babies and raping them women and killing them women and killing the men and chopping their head off, they didn't care about it. They didn't shed a tear. But all of a sudden, for some reason, Esau changed. Now he's a good guy. He's one of the good guys now. Just like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was a bad guy. Then he all of a sudden, overnight, he became a good guy. That's why you tribes, you're going to get messed up, man. Go ahead.
This must be taken as one of Las Casas' frequent embroideries of the truth for the sake of dramatizing the monstrousness of Spaniards in the New World.
So monstrousness, another word for that is devils. That's why we call them devils. All right? So anyway, we hit the main points of the tribe of Ephraim. We covered that. Now we're going to go to the tribe of Issachar. And there's a lot of history. We can get a lot of history books and accounts, but we'll be here for hours going into that, man. But you got the main point, the main focus, mainly the scriptures. You got the main point. If you can't see that that's the tribe, talking about the tribe of Ephraim, then your eyes are not open, all right? But like the Lord told the disciples, you ain't going to receive everything. He said, if you are able to receive it. All right? That's right. All right, now we're gonna deal with the tribe of Issachar, and I got some a couple of clips on Issachar. The first scripture I want to go to is Genesis, the 49th chapter, the 14th and the 15th verse.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass couched down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute.
Read that again, nice and slow.
It says, Issachar is a strong Issachar is a strong ass couched down between two burdens.
Now, if you go to a travel agency and you want to go to Mexico, you go inside that travel agency. I don't know if they do it today, because I went to Mexico City back in '87. If you go into the travel agency, especially like I said, you have travel agencies that deal with. You can go to Europe, you can go to China, you can go to Mexico, you can go to Puerto Rico. But now, when I went to Mexico, the travel agency that I dealt with my woman was mainly my woman dealt with the preparations and all that, okay? Because she had went to school down there, so she knew how to speak Spanish, and so she was a Gadite, but she knew how to speak fluent Spanish and everything. And she had lived in Mexico for a while, going to school. So she talked me into going to Mexico. So I said, well, look, if I'm going to bring literature, you know, and that's exactly what I did, you know. And them people took to this truth, man. When you told them that they were Issachar, they were one of the tribes of Israel. When you give them a literature, they would just stop whatever they were doing. They would even children, they would stop and read, and then they would ask you questions about the literature if they didn't understand certain things. I was on a train, they call it the Metro, and I had passed out literature to everybody on that train, right? And when I got off at the stop, I think more than about 60% of the people got off and surrounded me, and they were asking me all kind of questions about this information. So they took to it, man. Okay? So now when you go to that travel agency, before you go to Mexico, you might see posters up. You know, if you're gonna go to Spain, you might see posters of a mountain or some famous castle, or you might see you see a poster of Mexico, and sometimes you'll see an ass or a donkey with two burdens over the donkey's back. So that's what we're reading about right now. So let's read that again.
Issachar is a strong ass couched down between two burdens, and he saw that rest was good.
And he saw that rest was good. Now, we didn't go and look up the siesta. The siesta is when you would work early in the morning, and I believe it's 3 o'clock. Now, there's this mechanic I deal with his family. They're from Mexico. They can be working on your engine, man, and as soon as 3 o'clock hits, they'll stop everything, man. And they'll just sit down for an hour and eat and just lay back and relax. It's like there's a spurt on them. And then if you can say, no, you wait till 4 o'clock. You got to wait. All right? That's how they are. Because you had this thing where they bust their ass. By the way, Issachar means he is hired. Now, the way to pronounce it is not Yashaka, it's Yashashka. Yashashka. Okay? Yashashka means he hired, or he is hired. That's what it means. Because he became a servant to tribute. Because let me tell you something, I can't work the hours that Issachar can work, man. They work 18, 19 hours like it's nothing. Because it's in their DNA. Because the Most High made them that way. That's why, hence they got the name Issachar, Yashashka, which is an omen. He is hired. Okay? Read that again.
And he saw that rest was good.
So read it from the top.
Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant.
The land is pleasant, man. When I went down there, the smell of the land, you had palm trees down there.